Hey everyone, welcome to the episode of That's So Funny. Yeah, episode number 645. Uh yeah, I'm just here chilling. I was on a couple of streams the last couple of days. It was fun. I was on my hard drives disconnecting and reconnecting itself. It's been doing that. I bought a cheap ass hard drive. It works though. Just like me, it works. I was on a stream with Mint Salad and a bunch of our other peers for the Free Riley Fund. We're rallying for Riley with the whole Eric July mess. If you want to check all that out, you can check it out on her stream on Min Salad or ASC Presents. We just had some fun trying to rally for Riley. Free Riley dot fund, I believe. There's a GoFundMe. You can check it out with her. And yeah, I did that like 2 nights in a row. It was fun. A lot of people did some stuff with Dirty Dalish, some clip recordings. It was fun. Talked about video games and stuff like that. Showed her this weird music video that I really like. I don't know about the music video, but the song with John Frusciante and Speed Dealer Moms. It's called Birth Control Pill if you want to check it out. Uh, and yeah, I was on Ray DeVito's show last night. Last night because we're already in the middle of the night. But that was cool. Ray DeVito's cool. He's a little retardito. And he's a Guido, as his theme song says. But he's a cool cat, and I'm a voyeur to that Dabbleverse type of stuff. Watching it, but I didn't really have. I was looking at the news. There's really not a lot. Like Trump was choosing his running mate, or he already knows who his VP is, but they don't know who they are. And there's really like not a lot of news. So I was gonna read. I found an old story I had here that I had written, and this was years ago. Like I don't even know, probably like 10 or 15 years ago by now. And this is a story called Snake Charmer, and I will read it to you. It's a very short novella piece. It's only like 4 pages long, 3 pages long. So I will read the story Snake Charmer to you. This here, Snake Charmer by Lorenzo Ariola. Damn, Michael said aloud as he dug through his refrigerator. He was making a sandwich and hadn't yet completed it when he realized he was out of mayonnaise. He quickly grabbed his wallet and went walking to the nearest supermarket, which was but a block away. Michael usually rides his bike around his transportation, but the back tire was slightly flat. As he approached the supermarket, he noticed a small crowd of people watching an attraction. He neared one of the spectators and tapped him on the shoulder. Hey man, what's going on here? It's a woman charming a snake. Fine ass girl, man. The guy couldn't take her eyes off of her. Calls herself the amazing Trini. Michael, too, was mesmerized by her moves. She began dancing around the wicker basket, which held the snake captive. Trini bent down near the basket and took the top of it off. Rise, snake, she whispered near the opening of the basket. The snake slowly began to rise. It waved its head left to right and, without warning, lunged straight towards Trini's neck. The snake bit deep into her neck. With quick instinct, Trini managed to pull the snake off of her and throw it to the ground. Blood was pouring uncontrollably from her neck, and from the shock of it all, Trini fell to the ground unconscious. The crowd was hysterical. Half of them had no idea what to do, while the others thought it was part of the show. Michael pushed himself through the crowd, lifted Trini up, and ran with her to the nearest hospital in his arms, with blood still flowing from her wound. Michael was impatiently pacing in the waiting room when a nurse came in. How is she, nurse? Michael asked, worried. She's going to be fine, sir. Oh, thank God. Michael was so relieved. There's just one thing, sir, the nurse said. What's that, nurse? Well, the snake bit her in a very sensitive area. She lost very much blood and suffered mass tissue damage. The doctor has repaired the outside tissue, but for it to fully heal, she will need to be on this medication. The only known major side effect to this medication is that it causes amnesia. We've already begun giving to her the medicine, so she has no recollection of the events that happened before the time she awakes. All right, nurse, may I go see her now? Of course, go right in. Michael opened the door into Trini's room and noticed that she was still asleep. He sat down, and about 10 minutes later, she finally awoke. Trini looked around the room, not knowing at all where she was. You're awake. I was getting worried you would never wake up. Michael stood up and brought his hands near hers. Who are you? Trini asked, pulling her hand back. Honey, it's me, Michael, your fiance. Trini looked at Michael, puzzled. Look, everything's going to be just fine. You go ahead and go back to sleep, and as soon as we get out of here, I'll take you to a nice dinner, and we keep planning the wedding, all right, dear? Michael said, with a slight smile on his face. Oh, all right. Trini, still very lightheaded, laid her head back down and quickly fell back to sleep. Michael brought his lips near her forehead and kissed it. He exited her room and went to the nurse's desk to see where he could get a hold of more medicine for his soon to be wife. Trini and Michael had been married for 4 months when Trini began feeling less than satisfied in her relationship. Michael, do you find me attractive? She asked him. Trini, we've been over this 1,000 times. Of course, I find you attractive. Then why aren't we having sex, Michael, like every other normal married couple? She asked in anger. Look, Trini, we've talked about this. My mother raped me as a child. I have a fear of intercourse. What else do you want me to say? Well, I know all that. I just get so frustrated. We didn't even have a honeymoon, and I know it's hard. What about counseling? She asked. I'm not going to go to some shrink and tell me that I'm some crazy idiot because I want to have sex with my beautiful wife. At this point, Michael was furious, with tears in his eyes. Michael, I'm so sorry. It's just her eyes were tearing up as well. I know, Trini. I know. They embraced and wiped the tears from each other's eyes. A few days later, as they both were walking through the city park, a man stopped Trini. Trini, where the fuck have you been? The man grabbed her hand. Frank, let go of me, Trini yelled. Hey man, let go of her, Michael pushed Frank back. Trini, who the fuck is this guy? Frank asked her. Man, who the fuck are you? Michael asked him. It's none of your fucking business, asshole. Come on, Trini, let's get the fuck out of here now. Frank again grabbed Trini's hand. Trini pulled back. No, Frank, we're not together anymore. You can't tell me what to do, she screamed. Trini, you know this guy? Michael wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, I'm her fucking boyfriend. So why don't you go ahead and get the fuck out of here? Frank pushed Michael back. They started to fight. Stop fighting, please. Someone call the police. Trini was crying for help, but the fight continued. After 5 minutes, the police showed up. As they were about to break up the fight, Frank stabbed Michael on the side of his body. The police took Frank away, and Michael laid there in Trini's arms, bleeding to death. Trini, blood was quickly escaping Michael's body. Michael, oh my God, don't move. The ambulance is on its way. I can hear it. Trini was crying. Trini, how'd you know who that guy was? Michael couldn't understand. Michael, I stopped taking my medication about a month ago and my memory all came back to me. I remembered how horrible my life was and how much I hated it until you came along and saved me. You saved me, Michael, and I love you so much. Michael's blood was all over her hands and to the ground. The paramedics arrived, and Michael was taken to the nearby hospital. As she sat in the waiting room, Trini couldn't stop crying. She did not want to lose him. 3 hours passed when a nurse finally came with some news for Trini. Is he going to be all right? Trini quickly asked the nurse. He is going to be all right, the nurse answered. He was cut right beside the kidney, so he had God on his side that he didn't get cut, completely in there. He did lose a lot of blood, though. He will have to be on this medication for the inner tissue to repair. One of the major side effects of this medicine, unfortunately, is amnesia. Oh, well, may I go see him? Yes, go right in. Trini was walking into Michael's room just as he awoke. Who are you? He quickly asked. Michael, I'm your wife. You got into a fight and lost a lot of blood. But don't worry, everything's going to be just fine. A few more days in here and you'll be ready for the honeymoon that we've been planning for months and a night that you will never forget. The end. That's the end there. You get it? That's it's kind of like Overboard, right? Cuz what's her name, Goldie Hawn, can't remember who she is with Kurt Russell. And you see the original story when I had written this ended whenever she forgets who she is and he's going to, kind of like, take advantage of her amnesia. But then I had extended the rest of that story to have where they had marital woes and where he couldn't have sex, and then had that M Night Shyamalan like twist where um he gets amnesia and she ends up having her way with him as a that nice twist of oh no, the girl is the predator in this in this story, because girls can be predators too, as we've seen in the news lately with teachers and students and all that. But yeah, I had written that story. I don't even know. Like, like I said, I wrote the first half years ago, and then revisited it, which that's why I didn't call it Snake Charmer Revisited. I had just revised it, but when I revisited it, I wrote the rest of that. And yeah, like I said, this is like a 10, 15, 20-year old story. So that was Snake Charmer by Lorenzo Ariola. Yeah. I'll have to put that into AI and see if it generates some sort of movie whenever I can and see how it how it goes. But I hope you enjoyed story time. One of the original stories I had here, because there's really no news to read right now. And I'll have to say, was that all funny? I don't know. That was all funny, guys. I guess yeah, it's the podcast. Thank you for listening to That's All Funny. It's one of our podcasts. That's all funny. I have a podcast with my buddy Gabe called That's All Kayfabe, where we talk about wrestling, and it's fun. If you like wrestling or just long talks with two buddies, check it out. That's All Kayfabe, anywhere podcasts are available. If you want to see video versions of this or that, check out the podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/@ Lorenzo Ariola. I got video versions of this, that, and I do a show with the wonderful Mint Salad called Tits and Areolas. We talk about a movie we watch, play a little game. She's hot, I'm a piece of shit. But it works. I have other videos there too of just me, making fun of shit or hanging out with Dirty Dalish. Dalish, I'm sorry. Dirty Dalish, so check that out. That's a lot of fun. The YouTube channel again, youtube.com/& Lorenzo Ariola. If you want to support the show, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/& Lorenzo Ariola. $5 a month gets you everything: early episodes, bonus episodes, deleted episodes, ad-free episodes, stuff like that. You can hit me up at Lorenzo Ariola on Twitter and Instagram, or X, whatever you want to call it. See the podcast there too. Or hit me up for merch, t-shirts, prints, stickers. If you want any art done by the great at Retro Horror Inc. on Twitter or Instagram. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Take care.